This is second part of midbrain. So first section was taken from level of inferior colliculi, and this is the second transverse section of midbrain at the level of superior colliculi. The tectum part is changed, tegmentum is changed, while substantia nigra and this crus cerebri part remains same as it was at level of inferior colliculi. So again I am making the transfer section of midbrain here. This is dorsal part, this is ventral part, again this is substantia nigra, convex part, spiral, smooth ventral part. So here is again, this is tectum having two large collection of gray matter. Here is central aqueduct. The lemniscus system is quite different from level of inferior colliculi. At level of inferior colliculi there were 4 lemniscus system, but here only 3 lemniscus system, because lateral lemniscus was merged with inferior colliculi. Here is spinal lemniscus. In front of spinal, here is trigeminal lemniscus, and anterior most is medial lemniscus. So first of all I am talking about this dorsal most part. At this level these bundles of gray matter are superior colliculi, known as nucleus of superior colliculi, and these colliculi make an important pathway of visual reflex, and these are connected to pain and tactile sensation from spinotactile tracts, and are connected via brachium of superior colliculi. These are connected to lateral geniculate body and optic tract. So here only 3 lemnisci are seen. Here is a small nucleus in front of this superior colliculi. This is pretactile nucleus. It was not present at the level of inferior colliculi, and this nuclei is related to pupillary reflex. It is related to pupillary reflex, light reflex, and consensual light reflex. Lesion of pretactile nucleus leads to Orgel-Robertson pupil, in which light reflex is lost but accommodation reflex remains intact. one more nucleus, this can be seen at this level, is red nucleus here. Red nucleus. These are red nucleus, and these red nucleus are related to, these are cigar shaped mash of gray matter which appears ovoid in cross section and measures about 0.5 centimeter in diameter, and these are situated dorsomedially to the substantia nigra. In fresh specimen it is red or pink in color due to its high vascularity or high blood supply and iron containing pigment. It is related to rubrospinal tract and it manages flexor muscles of skeletal muscles and manage involuntary movements of muscles. It is part of extrapyramidal system. So it was red nucleus. Now let me show one more thing here. The mesencephalic nucleus of trigeminal is same as it was at level of inferior colliculi, and here we can see two more nuclei covered by medial longitudinal fasciculus. These are nuclei of third cranial nerve, that is oculomotor nerve. So nerve comes from midbrain anteromedially, bisecting the red nucleus and substantia nigra. This is third cranial nerve. Here are two decussation systems we can see at this level. One is dorsal decussation system and ventral decussation system. Dorsal one is known as Meynert decussation and ventral is known as ventral tegmental decussation of Forel. This dorsal one is formed by tectospinal and tectobulbar fibers, and this ventral is formed by rubrospinal tracts. So there are two decussation. One is dorsal tegmental decussation of Meynert and other is ventral decussation system of Forel. Reticular formation, here we can see again reticular formation. Reticular formation is collection of grey and white matter, crossed fibers of grey and white bundles. Substantia nigra is again seen here at this level, like it was seen at level of inferior colliculus, and again this crus cerebri. This part I am again repeating. Behind cerebral aqueduct it was tectum, and in front of this is cerebral peduncle, and again divided in three parts: tegmentum, substantia nigra and crus cerebri. So crus cerebri at level of superior colliculus is again divided in lateral 1/6, middle 2/3 and medial 1/6. This middle 2/3 is having bundles of white matter which brings sensation from cerebral cortex to brainstem and spinal cord, namely corticospinal tract, and corticobulbar or corticonuclear tracts, collectively known as pyramidal system. Anatomically, these systems are different, but functionally, pyramidal tract is having corticospinal as well as corticobulbar fibers. But in modern neuroanatomy and modern neurologists don't call pyramidal and extrapyramidal system because anatomically these are different and functionally different. So in modern neuroanatomy, these are called corticospinal and corticonuclear fibers. Here, this medial 1/6 column is having white fiber of frontopontine fiber, and this lateral 1/6 is having parieto, temporo and occipitopontine fibers. Red nucleus is here giving neurons of cerebrospinal tract, and this is medial fasciculus, longitudinal fasciculus related to Edinger-Westphal nucleus fiber, which carries preganglionic parasympathetic fiber to ciliary muscles via this oculomotor nerve. So it was section of midbrain at the level of superior colliculi. Now blood supply of midbrain. Midbrain is supplied by two main arteries. One is basilar artery through its posterior cerebral and superior cerebral arteries. Basilar artery gives two branches to supply midbrain. One is posterior cerebral artery, other is superior cerebellar artery, and it also gives some direct branches. The second blood supply of midbrain comes from branches of posterior communicating and anterior choroidal arteries. Posterior communicating and anterior choroidal arteries. So it was all about anatomy of midbrain.